All right, and welcome to another special episode of Stay Tuned with Troy and Howie. And we got another special guest on board here, and her name is Tinamarie Pasantino. And Tinamarie, she is, well, I guess you're one of the creators of the Josie Awards. Would that be correct?
It's absolutely.
Awesome. And again, the Josie Awards, we'll talk more about what that is and what that's about. But definitely put it on your calendars. It's coming up in probably what, a month and a half or so now. So not that far
Very
from
soon, yes.
now.
Very soon.
Yeah. So September 19th is, I guess, what you would call the red carpet show. And then the September 20th is the actual award show. So Tinamarie, welcome. And
Thank you.
yeah, not a problem. So tell me more about this. Like what did you have no free time in your life, and or you had too
We
much
have no
free
free time
time?
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we no longer have free time anymore. No, so the Josie Music Awards came about after about several other brands that we've had prior to that. So it started out with the Josie Show, which was a radio talk show.
Mhm.
Back in 2009, my daughter did it, and before long, I quit my job and I came on and I started producing the show with her. From there, it was just one brand after another. And then in 2015, the Josie Music Awards began. We looked at it as just a little way to be able to celebrate independent artists who, for the most part, do everything themselves. And just because you're not signed to a label doesn't mean you aren't extremely talented, right?
Yeah.
So we decided to have just a little party and celebrate. And the very first year, we got to about 1,000 people very quickly. And we realized that we no longer had a little party. And that was time for us to really pull ourselves together. So we've been to multiple, venues all along the way and finally found a nice home at the Grand Ole Opry House. So
Awesome. And I guess one of my big questions there is, how did you get that connection?
it wasn't so much a connection as it was trying year after year after year. So it took us a while. It took us about, I think, 8 years to be accepted.
Okay.
And we were thrilled, and yeah, so it took a little bit of a while, but no, it ended up working out great. Everything in its right time. We finally had our bearings a little bit better. From just kind of thinking you're having a party with 50 people to having thousands of people in front of
Mhm.
you. So it took us a little bit to pull it together, but no, so it's a fantastic show. We couldn't work with a better team. The Opry House team is just beyond anything you can ever imagine. They're phenomenal. So
So
they make us look really good.
yeah, they really do. I mean, I've seen a couple of previous shows, or at least people accepting awards and whatnot. We've interviewed quite a few artists that have either won an award on your show or actually have been a part of it in some way, shape, or form. And not a single one of them has anything bad to say about the Josie Awards, and
Oh,
you
that's nice.
specifically. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know Taylor Marie Wagner, but she has nothing but high praise for you. She's been on
Oh,
our show several times, and um,
that's
you know,
sweet.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, she's a lovely girl.
she is, and she's now moved up our way. I'm in central Pennsylvania near Hershey, and yeah, and Taylor is actually living up in the Hershey area herself. So she's
Oh, that's
yeah.
great. Sounds like a good place to be.
Exactly. It's the sweetest place on earth, they say.
You know it.
And where are you? Are you in Tennessee currently, or
We are. We're in Tennessee now, full time,
okay?
and so yeah, so we're out in West Tennessee for most of the time because we own Pasantino's Concert Cafe,
Mm.
which is a Italian Chicago style quick service type restaurant, along with some concerts and whatnot we do there as well. So that's what keeps us busy every day. And then of course we the Josie Music Awards as well. We do in between every order. We're working hard.
Yes, without a doubt. And obviously, you said you want to kind of give people who don't have a label some kind of break or just notoriety. Um, was there like some kind of personal story that kind of went with that to where you felt like this is your calling, or?
I think it really started with my daughter, with her doing interviews. She spoke to mostly independent artists.
Hmm.
She did, get to talk to some, major, celebrities and wonderful entertainers. But along the way, she's always just kept a strong, passionate heart for independent artists. And just because of all that they do and the amazing talent they have. And let's be honest, there's a handful of major records out there, major record labels out there, and they can't they can't sign everybody in the world that has talent. That's just not feasible. So we go ahead and we celebrate those that are independent. They can
Hmm.
either be doing their music themselves or be with an independent label. That's all acceptable.
Hmm.
And then we took that one step further and we decided not only to celebrate independent artists and independent music, but to also celebrate our legends. So we do a little bit of both ends of the spectrum, really. Sometimes
Okay.
people from right at the beginning of their career to people who've been doing it for a number of years. And we find many people that we have been making music for years and years, they are now independent again.
Wow.
And we go ahead and we celebrate and honor them for everything that they've done as well as their independent work.
Okay. And is there that one artist that's out there where you're like, why haven't they made it big yet? Like, I don't know. Like for us, we interviewed somebody by the name of Brandon Wisham, and we hear his music, and or even other people. I mean, like Jay Edwards kind of sticks out to me too. We hear their music, and we're like, man, I mean, it just has a perfect sound on radio. Why aren't they bigger than what they are? And is there that one artist out there that you're kind of thinking of where why?
Not really. I think coming from where we come from, we think of it a little bit differently. We see people who choose to run and be
Hmm.
in charge of their own careers. And that's kind of, what we celebrate is that portion of it. To the idea of making it really depends on what your goal really was when you got into this.
Sure.
There are people that are selling out huge, arenas and different things like that, and they're independent. So and they tour, they're on
Hmm.
tour all the time. They rarely get to see their home because they're always on the road. And so really it depends on what your goal was and what your idea of success is. Being able to, for some people, it's being able to put out music that reaches people and touches their heart. They
Hmm.
feel successful when that happens. For others, they may want to get signed to a major label and maybe that's the road that they're attempting to follow. And then for others, it's, being able to do music full time on their own without having another job. That's their idea of success. So it really kind of depends. But we're always champions of,
Hmm.
certainly doing your own music and, making your own decisions.
Sure. And I guess, with you starting about 11 years ago with the Josie Awards, if you think about it, I guess a lot has changed over the last, I don't know, 10 to 20 years ago as far as marketing yourself or, 25 years ago, the only way you were going to make it big was to have that record label and be put out there. But now today, everybody has a forum to promote themselves, obviously with social media and whatnot. And um, so I think that kind of helps a lot with a lot of our
It
independent
does.
artists. I know a
It
lot of.
does. It's really changed the picture a lot. It's changed the landscape for everything that you do.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, back in the day, I'm not sure promotion might have been, trying to find a little 8K track tape or a little cassette tape and bring it all around. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But as far as for now, there's so many different outlets out there. There's so many ways to promote your music,
Hmm.
and a big part of what we do, especially like with the day before. So the day before this year on the 19th of September, we're going to have the JMA music conference. And a lot of that is having the pros speak to you and answer your questions to learn from, that sort of thing. So we really keep the learning aspect into it. And then, of course, we also celebrate. But we want to make sure that every artist has, whatever they can think of that they can put inside their little wheelhouse to be able to use, whenever they need it. So we
Okay.
give them as much as we possibly can from people who've already walked that road and can answer their specific questions to where they are in their careers right now. And so we do as much as we can to support them and promote them in that way.
Hmm.
Many people, after being a part of the Josie Music Awards, whether just a nominee or whether a winner and a nominee, whatever the case may be, they have walked away. You get as much as you put into it, right? So if you truly do get involved, Then you can walk away with lifelong friendships of people that support each other. It's really a great, great group of, nominees and friends and family that seem to come together every year. It's like a great big family reunion. Everybody's very supportive. They're happy to see each other every year, and they're happy to welcome in new faces every year. So it's really a positive, wonderful atmosphere of support and love, even if they're nominated in the same categories.
Yeah.
And besides all of that, yeah, I mean, we make sure that they get a ton of promotion. So not only do they walk away with those relationships, they get to do a lot of networking with amazing people in the industry, everyone from record labels to talent agencies to PR and different things like that. So that helps them build those relationships and maybe do something, as well as leaving there and finding people that you tour with, you record with, you write with. So it really is a very supportive community, and you can learn from each other, learn from the pros, and, move forward in your career in any way that you wish.
That's awesome. And I was just going to ask you the question too, where if you could give advice to that independent artist, what would you say for them that, hey, and we come across this too. We've had a couple people in the past where they're like, man, I've been doing this for the last 15 years and I still haven't made it big. That's my big goal. I want to be able to, play in an arena and get noticed and get signed and whatever. What do you say to that person?
Realistically, the very first thing that I tell everybody is do your research.
Yeah.
Don't get involved with, don't promote, don't do any of those things for anybody until you have done all of your research. Because you could very quickly get in the wrong lane and be going in the wrong direction and end up in not such a great place. So always make sure you do your research with anybody that you're going to get involved with.
Mm,
If there's references, you call them. You do all those sorts of things. And then keep your music, copyright your music, and just keep going at it. So whether it's recording, whether it's playing live, you need to do a little bit of all of that, if that's really the area that you're going to want to
okay.
pursue.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And I guess that's pretty much good business advice for anybody, whether they're in music or whatever, is do your
It
research.
is. It is. It's important to do your research. It's important to grow that fan base. Be creative with it. Really spend the time with the people who are buying your music, coming out to shows, and that sort of thing.
Hmm.
It's very difficult. You can't just make records and try and sell them online and think that's the path you're going to land in. Do miracles and great things happen sometimes? Yeah, but for the most part, we're not going to count on those. For the most part, you want to make sure that you are getting out there, you're getting in front of people, they're hearing you sing, you're getting people to your shows, and then you're following up with all of your promotion through social media, you're doing your recordings of your own original work. That's very important. So and if you find places, so many times when you go and you play out, they want you to play covers. They may let you put in a few originals, but they want you to play covers all the
Hmm.
time. If you can find those locations where they want you to do your originals, play those as much as you can.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I like that. And I always think too, where um, with someone that's just kind of getting started, and again, we've talked to a lot of people who've said this too, where the they go out and play their music, but their biggest revenue is their merchandise. It's almost like they're going out to play to kind of advertise what they're selling in a sense, as far as shirts, hats, and whatnot. And it's just it's really an interesting era that we're living in when it comes to music or even artists in
It is.
general, in that respect.
It is.
So
It is. And for those kinds of things, that's great. One, it helps you put some money in your pocket so you're able to travel up and down the road and pay your band members and, pay for gas in the truck to
sure.
get you from place to place. So, all of that stuff is great. Not only that, I mean, if people are purchasing that, one, they're really there to support you. They really enjoy what you're doing. That's got to make you feel good inside.
Hmm.
And besides that, now they're taking that merchandise and they're wearing that out. And that can't be a better advertisement. Because if someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, who's that on your shirt?" That person is going to tell them all about you instead of just, just seeing a name. That doesn't tell me anything about you. But when someone can come up and say, "Hey, his music's really fantastic, and
Hmm.
here's where you can find it. I know he has a show next week. We're going to it." All of that sort of thing helps quite a bit.
Without a doubt. And so obviously, being a part of your show kind of helps with the, the advertising and promotion of what they're presenting and whatnot. Um, how does one get to that point where they are now part of the, awards, and how did they get nominated?
Sure. So the only thing people have to do is during open submission period, which
Hmm.
is January 15th to April 30th every year,
Okay,
they would just go on our website. They'll find the submission forms there at that time and just complete the forms that apply to you and your career.
gotcha.
That's all you need to do. They
Oh,
only
well,
take a minute, super easy. And then the rest is up to our team to go ahead and do the reviews and
okay.
decide on who becomes a nominee and in what category, what genre, all of that. So it's super easy on your end to do. And it gets you, put in front of a great group of people that are doing these reviews as well. So
Yeah,
also extremely important and helpful.
without a doubt. And I'm thinking too, how many submissions are you getting every year? Because and how big is your team to be able to review all these?
Let me tell you. Um, This year was something more than we've ever expected. We got a little bit over 101,000 submissions this
Oh
year.
my gosh.
Yeah, that's what we said. So it grew quite a bit. And with that we've got a pretty good sized team. There's about 25 to 30 people at any given time. And we've been fortunate because they are in positions where they can take on apprentices and different people there to help them.
Hmm.
And with that, you've got a group of people who go through first. They check eligibility dates and all that kind of stuff. And then, it's left up to the pros to be able to go ahead then actually review, the talent, the quality of work, and that sort of thing. So it takes a lot. And we start right at January 15th when the submissions start coming in. And this year we didn't finish until last week.
Oh, seriously? Wow.
Seriously. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Um, and how many artists are in each category?
It really kind of depends. We don't put a number on it. We don't say, 5, 10, 15, whatever.
Okay.
We try to keep them smaller. I mean, obviously we're not going to put 50 people in one category, but with 101,000 submissions, there's going to be a good amount of people who become nominees. And when I say that a good amount, it doesn't sound like a huge number. It's usually under 3%.
Hmm.
Okay. Generally under 3% of that huge number makes it to nomination. So they're going through and they're doing their work. And they're doing their reviews. They take that very
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
with
that
that being said, it's still a few thousand nominees probably still, but yeah.
sure.
I
But
mean,
that's gotta
every
be tough
category is
though.
different.
That's gotta be real
Yeah.
tough though, because like what do you
Tough
take
to
into account when it comes to nominating? I mean, obviously there are always going to be that one person who's been passed up that probably, in their mind they're thinking, I'm as good as anybody else who just got a nomination. So like what are your 20 to 25 staffers looking for specifically that kind of gets them to that
Yeah.
level?
Well, what's kind of nice about it with having so many people, like let's say we're looking at album of the year,
Hmm.
right? If we're going ahead and we're doing a review for album of the year, it's not one person that makes that decision. That same album will go through 2, 3 hands for sure.
Okay.
Okay. And they will all listen to it. And as a group collectively, they tend to make those decisions. If we're, and for every category, they look for something different, right? So it depends on what that category is. So for album of the year, they'll look at the artwork for the album. They'll listen to the songs on the album. They'll listen to melody. They'll listen to the songwriting. They'll listen to the vocals.
Okay.
They'll see how you packaged it to put it out. How's the production of it? Very important. And that sort of thing. So presentation and production are very important.
Okay. And the folks who are submitting, are they letting you know what genre they want to be a part of or what category?
Yeah, a lot of times when they fill out the form that, we will ask what genre you are,
Okay.
and they will certainly put the genre in. Now, ultimately, it'll be the, reviewing team that
Sure.
will decide at that point, if that truly is the case. So, and if not, if they feel for our particular competition, if there is a category that maybe better fits them, they
Mhm.
will move them into the category they feel works.
Okay. I've always thought this, by the way, when it came to like independent artists who are looking to, be established and making this their full-time gig and whatnot. Um, to me, I think what sets the real deal apart, it's not just music, it's not just singing, it's not just writing, but I also think a lot of it has to do with their presentation, how well they talk to people, how well they interview people. Because there are some people where I was just like, you know what, that's probably the missing ingredient on why they haven't made it to that next level, is their ability to be, for lack of a better word, like an extrovert in the
Yeah.
industry. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to be completely involved. You can't just hope that it's gonna happen.
Hmm.
Presentation overall as you're meeting people, it'll be important. How you present yourself on stage is important.
Hmm.
The things that you stand up for and believe in, and that sort of thing. All of that, if you're putting that out in the forefront, people are going to see it, and they're going to make a decision on you. So
Yeah.
stage presence, very important. Always go in as professional as you can and maintain that throughout. And then be really good with your fans. I mean, it's very important to be good with your fans.
Yeah.
You can walk in and you can walk out and say, thank you very much, and that's great. Maybe there's times where you have to do that. But if you have the opportunity to be able to meet and greet, talk to your fans, have that stage person interaction, or interact with them during a break or something like that, that's really important. That's what keeps people. It makes them endure to you, and that's what keeps people that are really still interested. That enduring feeling that they get, and they want to keep coming back and seeing you because you're so
Yeah.
personable.
Yeah, without a doubt. And and again, I mentioned that Jay Edwards is one of, our frequent guests and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, we every year, or the last couple years, he's come out to our area in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and he would perform at what they call the Ponderosa Barn. And I'll tell you, I got to see him, two of those 3 years that he played there, and to me, that's what sets him apart from a lot of people. And that's why I always kind of in my head, I'm like, why aren't you bigger than what you want to, because he wants to be at that next level, but I just don't think he's there yet. But man, he's such a great performer. He interacts with his fans and the audience, and people always walk away with, wow, I didn't know this guy before, but man, he's something special now. And it just always boggles my mind on how someone is just, I don't know. I guess sometimes it comes down to luck as well, I guess, Tinamarie.
It does, and being in front of the right people. I mean, if you're always doing that, but there's no way for, someone at a major record label to see you for, where you're playing or,
Hmm.
what you're doing or any of those kinds of things, and they may not know you exist.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some of that is, you have to get radio airplay is going to be very important. So people have a chance to hear you, get out in as many clubs as you can in important areas that you think you can get into.
Hmm.
And you just keep going, and eventually sometimes people get lucky
Yeah, and
and
that,
they it happens, but
yeah,
it's hit or miss. You just don't know. You just don't know.
it really is. And I guess it kind of frustrates me because when you see some of this talent not getting noticed, and then all of a sudden I go on TikTok or Instagram and I'm seeing these people promoting themselves, and all of a sudden they're doing the dumbest of things and getting 1 million+ views, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Like I feel like I'm living in a
That's our
backwards
world
world.
today.
Yeah.
That's where we're at today, it seems. Yeah.
Oh, you said it. You said it. So with the Josie Awards, are you folks are you doing more than music? Are you promoting like all independent artists? Or is there like other categories beyond music that you're a part of? Oh, think I might have lost you there. Oh, there you
Lost you.
go.
Okay, there we are. Yeah, no, I heard your question. So basically, there are other categories. So we have business categories for anyone who runs a business that works with music artists. So we
Okay.
do have business categories. We do have songwriters that are in there as well that are celebrated. So yeah, so there's a bunch of different things. And this year we even added. Normally we have the music video of the year, but we even added short film this year.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So we've got a few different things. So we're expanding a little bit more. Each year we bring on a little bit more, it seems. Yeah.
Okay. I have to keep that in mind. My youngest son is he graduated from Full Sail University with a film degree a couple of years ago, and he does a lot of the short film stuff. That I'll have to let him know that I didn't realize that was a category.
Yeah, this is the first year for it. So
Yeah,
surprisingly, we've got quite a few entrances for the first year. So we're
well,
quite
that's
excited.
great. That is great.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's cool. I mean, is this your full-time job?
Well, no. No, no, no. I have a full-time job as well as Josie. So we have actual full-time jobs, and then we have the restaurant, which seems like a very, very full-time
Oh my
job.
gosh, yeah.
Josie Music Awards. There's radio station, television station, magazine. There's all sorts of stuff that we do, but we have actual jobs as well.
Oh my gosh. So you really
Yeah,
don't have a life then, is what you're saying.
pretty much, yes. This is my life. Yes, it is.
Yes,
Yes.
but you enjoy it, and that's what counts, right?
We do. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We enjoy it very much. We wouldn't keep doing it if we didn't enjoy it this
hmm
much. So,
So when it comes to, because I know you have some presenters and everything that have kind of succeeded in the industries and whatnot, and what, like what goes into inviting someone like that to come onto your show and accept coming onto your show?
it really kind of depends. A lot of times we have publicists who contact us who have an interest in some sort of role. And we'll chat with them a little bit about that and see if we have a fit. That's how it usually happens.
hmm
But yeah, we have reached out from time to time to people that we were interested in having come and join us.
Okay.
And you just, reach out and see if somebody answers you.
Yeah.
So we've been lucky enough that people seem to really enjoy what we do, and they've really, gotten involved and embraced us quite well. So we're pretty
Okay.
thrilled.
Yeah, I always thought like even with what we do, we've been doing this for the last 6 years now with the podcasting world, and when we first started, our goal wasn't really to do what we've been doing, interviewing a lot of like independent artists and people of that genre. In fact, our Troy and I both worked in radio before doing the podcast, and we always wanted to do like this sports talk radio show, and we started kind of talking about, hey, maybe we should do this now in the podcast world now that we're done radio, and we're like, yeah, let's do this, and it we never got into doing like all sports talk, but we started just talking, just bantering back and forth, and for whatever reason, we started getting a huge following out of Nashville. And and we
That's
started,
right.
yeah, and people started like, hey, can we come on your show and talk about our music and whatever, and it just kind of snowballed from there. Um
Well, great.
and I'm
You
kind of,
can't argue with that.
yeah, exactly, and I'm kind of glad we did, because we really really got to meet a lot of amazing people. And I will say, in the country world, man, people are just downright nice. And
They are. They're
you
wonderful.
yeah, and we've interviewed all genres, rap, pop, rock, you name it. And for the most part, we've had good experiences. But there was just something different about the folks in the country industry for some reason, and I don't know. It's just nice. Yeah,
That's good. Yeah. Luckily, I mean, we've been the Josie Show, for instance. We've been interviewing people since 2009. So what is that, like 17 years almost? So, yeah, I mean, it's been a long time, and I have to say that out of all those years and all those interviews, I know Josie's had well over 3,500 interviews already,
wow,
and that was the last count. We haven't counted in a long time. But we've all had really good experiences.
yeah.
We really haven't had any issues. It's all been, really great people that we've spoken to, whether it's someone who's been in the industry for a long time or someone who's just starting.
hmm
Everybody's been really, really quite lovely. So yeah, we've been very blessed.
That's awesome. And like, for what you folks do and what you're doing for the independent artist industry, Have you gotten any recognition from outside, resources where they're like, hey, you know what, guys, kudos to you. I'm really, thankful that you guys are doing what you're doing. I mean, let's face it. I mean, if there's anybody that deserves an award, it would be you folks when it comes to, doing what you're
Thank you.
doing. Sure.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. I think for us, our greatest reward is, seeing what comes out of, what we're doing as far as other people in their careers. I think as far as, I mean, we've received lots of awards over the years. And I think one of the awards that probably meant the most to us is we were presented with an award from the what we call ourselves the JMA family, right?
Okay.
So it was, people have been nominees and winners and things like that in the past. They got together, all of them did, and they one year at the award show, they presented us with an award for just pioneering our way through this, and being able to celebrate them and give them a platform. So I think that was probably the most meaningful award to us. It really touched our hearts. It did.
Yeah. I
And when
mean,
we
just
have that, we have it up on our little table. As soon as you walk in the door, you can see it. We're
nice.
most proud of that.
So what does the Josie Music Awards trophy look like? What are they getting?
You know what? We went through a few of them over the years, depending upon what was available, especially during COVID.
Okay.
But I think we finally landed on an award. It's a beautiful crystal award. It's not one of those little thin things. It's nice and thick and heavy, and it just comes to like a slanted peak up at the top. And I think for us, it's just a wonderful, we kind of feel like it's almost like the climb, right? So it gives us that look like you're climbing up that, that little steeple to get to the top of the peak. And so we kind of fell in love with it, and that's the meaning it has, behind for us,
Okay.
behind it. So
That's
yeah.
cool. And how many
Yeah.
awards are you giving out on show night?
It ends up generally being somewhere around, usually around 200.
Wow. Okay. So we're
Yeah,
talking
generally
a
around
long
200.
evening of award show, huh?
It is. We plan for about 4 hours,
Okay.
and we usually finish in about 3.5.
Nice.
So because you have not only the award presentations, but then you have special presentations like our Icon Award, our Lifetime Career Achievement, humanitarian, just different things like that. And then you have wonderful performances. So we're very fortunate that we have amazing people come and perform for us.
Okay.
This year we have Tony Orlando already confirmed.
Wow.
He's coming to perform for us. And we'll have some other people as well. I don't know. They've all been announced yet.
Okay.
We're gearing up for a really big announcement soon, so we haven't had the chance to say anything about that yet, but we'll have that coming out really soon. But so we've got wonderful people, legends that come and perform for us. We had Lori Morgan perform last year for us. We've been fortunate enough also to have like Neil McCoy come perform for us, and just wonderful people, and that's always great. But then we also have select people so everybody is allowed to fill out a performance application. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Fill out a performance application that wants to for an opportunity or a chance to be able to perform at one of our events,
Neat.
that weekend. So there will also be independent artists that are selected out of those that submitted.
Okay.
We had probably around 3,000 submissions come in for 3,000 performance applications, I should say, submitted. So out of that, there'll probably be about 8 performances.
Okay.
So,
Wow. So, well, I
yeah.
mean, that sounds like you're getting your money's worth if you're going there to watch the show. That's for sure.
You are. You definitely are. It is a full production show, whether you're a nominee or not, whether you're just someone who's in town wanting to come see a great show. It's definitely the show to be at. It's a wonderful show. Yeah.
And not only that, but the venue itself is amazing, right?
Remarkable. Yeah. There's just no words. Honestly, there's no words to describe it. The venue's incredible. Sound, lighting, everyone that you work with, from, whether it be the ushers, the security, the stage team, everyone you work with is outstanding, just outstanding.
Very cool.
Yeah. I don't know that we could find a better home, honestly.
Yeah. And I guess the day before, when you folks are kind of doing your, I don't know, what do you call it, the red carpet type of day, or?
No, the red carpet is actually the day of the award show. It's before the doors open, before the red carpet starts. Yeah, before the award show starts. But then the day before, that's our JMA music conference. So that's
Okay.
literally a learning conference and celebration as well. We own the Independent Country Music Hall of Fame. So
Mm,
we will do an inductee that night. That
okay.
night, we also honor those that have been nominated in Songwriter Achievement, which is strictly based off of the songwriting of songs that are not released yet or demo songs.
Hmm.
So it's based off of your own songwriting. And it is not a competitive category. You are literally, reviewed on your own merit. So
Okay.
that's a little different. So we do that the night before. Media will be the night before. So people, or the day before, people will be able to come into the event and go around the media circle and be able to get interviews from many people. This year, we're also adding a clip station, so people will be able to, for the Josie show and the Josie JMA Network TV, people will be able to record sound bites and video for that
Okay.
to help promote, of course, the station, but also promote themselves, because they'll be able to tell a little bit about who they are and where their music can be found and things like that. So just different things that we do throughout all of our brands to be able to celebrate people. There's also going to be master classes and workshops and classrooms that'll be teaching you an array of things,
Uh-huh.
also including Barry. So Barry is going to be leading the discussion panel. So it'd be like a big discussion panel
Okay.
up there where all the different pros will talk about different subjects. And then people there, all the nominees there in the audience, will be able to ask them questions and get answers that specifically relate to their
Hmm.
career. So,
I'm
yeah. So big
guessing
thank you
that's
to Wayne PR.
I'm guessing that's what he invited. Barry, by the way, is a promoter, and he does promote a lot of the independent artists out there. Uh, I guess that's what he invited Troy and I to for the
Yes,
19th, if I'm not
that's the
mistaken.
portion. Yep.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Absolutely. And yeah, so you're going to be a part of I believe we're calling it the Delta Media Pavilion.
Yes.
And it's in a beautiful, beautiful spot in the hotel in the convention center. So you will absolutely love it. So you will be a part of media. You'll be able to
Nice.
interview plethora of nominees that come through.
Okay. Yes.
And
Yeah.
chat with everybody. You'll have fun. It's
Yeah,
a great,
I'm
great.
looking forward to it, and I know Troy's looking forward to it as well. And yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun there, and we'll definitely make the best of it. And we've been to the Opryland Hotel, or I've been to it a couple times in the past. It's gorgeous. I mean, it is
It's
amazing inside.
beautiful.
So
It
really
is
looking
my
forward to it.
favorite place to be on earth.
Yes. So
That's why
yeah,
it's beautiful.
yep, and my wife even does a little photography, so she's going to do a lot of snapshots of what we're doing there. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to for the moment. So
Perfect.
yeah, so again,
Yeah, well, thank you for coming out to that.
yeah, yeah, not a problem. Looking forward to it, and yeah, and we're speaking with Tinamarie Passantino, and she is part of the Josie Music Awards, and I guess I'm kind of looking at your website now. So it's josiemusicawards.com is where you can go to get more details as far as what's going on this year and who's presenting, who's performing, and all that good stuff you can find on that site. And I don't know. I mean, do you want to take the next 2 hours to talk about all the other things you got going on in your life, Tinamarie?
No, that's
So, but obviously,
okay. You're ready. Right.
yeah, right. So, but yeah, again, appreciate you coming on board and talking about this. It's kind of slowly turning into a passion of mine and even Troy's as far as really really kind of pulling for that artist that that can't spend millions of dollars getting their name out and about and I'm glad to have people like you that are able to do that as well. So that's awesome.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you for taking the time to chat with me today. That was so nice. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. And yeah, so I guess we will look forward to meeting you on the 19th.
That's right. We'll get to meet in person. That's wonderful. I'm
Excellent.
so excited.
Yeah, me
Mhm.
too. So yeah,
It'll
so
be fun.
until next time, stay tuned, guys.
All right. Thank